I'm turning out for global warming.
I'm Gabriel, and I'm turning out for racial equality.
Hi, I'm Fred. I'm turning out because
leftism.
I want to impress my friends. That's the only reason to ever do anything.
My name is Brock, and I'm turning out for, wait for it, the U.S. Constitution. I'm turning out for an unmanipulated, unstate-controlled internet. I'm turning out for an unweaponized and defanged IRS so it can't turn against political opposition. I'm turning out for actual free speech for every single citizen in the country. Not just speech that the political correct police and the social engineering fascists happen to like. I'm turning out for freedom of conscience and freedom of religion. I'm turning out for MLK's actual dream, a country that puts character in front of the color of your skin, rather than a nation that calls everything that moves racist for political expediency. I'm turning out for constitutional adherence, respect, and restriction on our federal government by way of their governance, defense, infrastructure, rule of law, period.
This has been a Brock Lawley production.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's my 2 cents. See, I am a believer that this kind of stuff needs to be refuted. And one of the things that bothers me, it's always bothered me, is this idea that a politician will go to this group of people and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. Then he turns around and goes to another group of people. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. That's not the way this country's supposed to work. The legislation, the direction is supposed to be for everybody. This sort of carve us all up, turn us all against each other. I don't like it. I think we should be moving towards ideals. What are American ideals? We don't lower the limbo low ruler, meet our failed expectations. No, we set things and we elevate things. We make them grandiose and we inspire all Americans to come under the tent of this direction. So this whole carve us up thing is very, very appealing for the youth. And I also think conservatives need to refute this stuff and get in the game. So that's my humble attempt. Now, just to lighten the mood a little bit, I wanted to get to some good news. I like to do this a lot more often than I did in this show. I came out with a study this week that said walnuts are possibly able to ward off, even prevent Alzheimer's disease. Now, that's a terrible disease. I've seen it in action. I've seen it rob families of joy, etc. So that's pretty good. I for one, I'm going to stock up on walnuts the next time I go to the grocery store. And something else I really, really like. You remember this guy who was eluding the police? You know, he shot some cop and then he was running around the woods like Bear Grylls all over the place. Well, they finally caught this guy. They finally got him. Well, there's that lookalike guy. The sniper lookalike guy was getting beat up by citizens, arrested all the time. Well, he raised money, $16,000. I know Gary wants to get in on this. $16,000 for a new car. They're going to try to reward this guy after he just basically was through the bowels of hell. What do you think, Gary?
The guy's name was Eric Freen that they caught there in Pennsylvania that shot those cops. And when they did catch him, I guess, he was so surprised because he thought, he's a survivalist. He'd been a Navy SEAL.
Right.
So obviously those guys have training to not be caught.
And he did a pretty good job, let's be honest, of eluding.
5 weeks eluding. But the thing is, what was the most surprising to me, and I'm sure a lot of people, is he stayed in the area.
He
was less than 10 miles away from usually you see, those type of guys.
Yeah, they're in like Guadalajara, Mexico or something.
They're down in Puerto Rico drinking a margarita going, hi. Here he is 10 miles away living in an airport hangar.
Wasn't he in an airport hangar? I thought he was going to be in the woods when they found him in the airport hangar. I guess he was trying to restock. I don't know. Maybe he ran out of supplies or I don't know.
Yeah, from what I saw is that, he had a large surplus of guns and stuff like that, but he had run out of a lot of stuff.
Right.
So that, he thought he was smarter than he was. Glad to see he's off the streets.
I agree.
So he doesn't hurt any more law enforcement officers.
I agree. Quick recap, bookend this. Jim Tully is his name. So this poor guy, he was like the dead ringer for this guy. He was a factory worker. 20 or more stops by authorities. He was beaten. There's some of the civil arrests where they got like a shotgun at the barrel of his temple on the ground. This guy really went through it. The people got together and said, this is kind of like their sort of, I'm sorry, they're going to buy this guy a car. So that's pretty cool, right? That's good news, and I'm happy to see that. So two guys, they outfit their van with a washer and a dryer. It's kind of cool how they jimmied this up. I love when people get creative like this. And they got this generator, and they're powering this sort of mobile washer and dryer unit. They go around and they do laundry for the homeless. Now, I thought about this. Initially you're thinking, what is going on? But think about how much difference that would make. Say you were living in the same clothes for like 6 months. Some guy gives you a change of clothes to wear while he washes your clothing, gives it back to you. It's the little things in life that make the difference. My wife has always told me a good vacuum cleaner is one of the greatest joys of life. I think that's so true. Anyway, these two guys are about my age. They spend their own money. They hook up this car. It's amazingly cool, the ingenuity of people. But I especially love it when they're serving other people. So, again, driving around doing laundry for the homeless, pretty fantastic, I think. I love this one. You guys know I'm a vet. I'm always looking out for stories about the vet. Well, listen to this. So an Iraq war vet, he's been paying little by little, just a little bit of his paycheck at a time, to restore this classic 1965 Mustang. My dad's a big fan of these muscle cars. He loves these things. And I kind of have a romantic attachment to him myself. So this guy bought this car in 2005 during his first tour of Iraq. This guy's been doing them one after the other. And he's not a rich guy. So he's just paying little by little by little by little. Well, this Houston couple finds out that this soldier has this quest, his little hobby. He wants to restore this classic car. They find out about this. They collect money with 35 of their friends chipping money. They completely restore this car. By the way, the people that spearheaded this, Margaret and Tim Martin. They completely and totally restore this car. Let me tell you, I saw this car in this video. You can find it at courageculture.net, by the way. They restored this car to its full muscular glory, and then they reveal it to this guy, and you have to see the look on this guy's face. And I just love this. Think about what this must mean to this soldier, and by all means, he deserved that gratitude, that testament of gratitude. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this week. BrockLawleyMusic.com, CourageCulture.net, WMANFM.com. And listen, get out to vote. We do have some good ones. I'm a big fan of Judge Robertson. Big fan. Get out, put him behind the bench. And Judy French. Remember, judges don't have an R&D behind their name. You got to remember it. Remember the French, the frog-eating French, although this French is good. All right, guys, we'll be back next week. Thanks for hanging out with me. Take care.